Hey guys, my name is Sarah Smitley. I am a star director with Sensi. I've been in since 2011. I'm the first topic today on Build Yourself. Oh, I should probably say I'm from Somerville, South Carolina. Right now, though, I'm in my hotel room in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. So, this is where we have our leadership retreat this year. So, it's been incredible, incredible. If you can ever take a trip down to Cabo, do it. You won't regret it. It's gorgeous here. Gorgeous. Every day it's been gorgeous. Anyway, back on track. I want to talk about building yourself. So, people are going to talk about building your businesses, building your future with Sensi, but talking about building yourself really has to be the foundation of your business. So, I want to talk a little bit about your mindset, about where you want to go, where you're going, like where you're actively going right now, and the mindset of where you want to go, the resilience you need to have to get there. You're going to have ups and downs, so kind of navigating through those valleys and those peaks. I have everything written on napkins, so bear with me. This is what happens when you do your leadership training in Cabo and you don't bring a notebook. So, anyway, I want to talk about how that resilience and that mindset is going to play a part when you're like experiencing those shifts in your personal business and in your families, in life circumstances. Right now, we're in a pandemic, so that had to change so many of our different lives the past 2 years almost now. Most of our businesses have looked very different in the past 2 years. So, what I want to start with though is sharing a little bit about me, about how I've kind of built up my own mindset, how I have built some of that resilience, how I've navigated through those peaks and those valleys. So, like I said, I started in 2011 with Sensi in July of 2011, not knowing what Sensi was at all. Thank God that I got blessed with finding the right company right off the bat. I had no idea what direct sales was. I had no idea, honestly, how to do any of it. I saw a very good friend of mine from college. She was posting that she went on a free Disney World trip, and I said, I want to do that. And so I joined because I know that I was keeping Yankee Candle in business. So if I could do that, then I could definitely sell some candles because I loved my house to smell good, right? So anyway, I joined because I saw people having the opportunity to go on these free vacations. And for me, I didn't have that kind of money. I didn't think that I would be able. At that time, I had two little girls. They're teenagers now, but I had two little girls, and I didn't know if I'd ever even have that opportunity, right, to take them to Disney. And so when I joined, that was my main major goal, is I wanted to earn free vacations. At that point in my life, though, I also was in nursing school. Um, I was living with my parents, with my husband, and my two little toddlers, um, and living with my parents. Was always nervous about, going to the grocery store and using our debit card and, thinking, please don't, like, you know, let all my food go through, right? Or like, how much money do I have that I can put gas in my car? And it was 10 years ago, that was my life, right? I knew I needed something better. And I was in nursing school. I was bettering myself as a person. But when I was coming from that kind of mindset already, vacations was not going to be on my list, right? Because I couldn't afford that. I didn't have that. And starting out, like I said, I joined in July. The very first vacation was to Punta Cana, and it was starting that August to January was that incentive period. And I earned that in that very first 6 months for both my husband and I. And we went to Punta Cana. And since then, in the last 10 years, I've only missed one incentive trip, and we've gone to leaderships, and we've gone to um, SFR and world tours and all of the things, and even just extra trips thrown in here and there. And honestly, now I use that, and I'll go into this a little bit more later too. But I like the money I make through Scentsy goes to my vacationing and my traveling with my family. And now it's not just, a small weekend. Like, I'm excited in a couple months we're going to be taking our girls to Hawaii. And next year we're going to do Europe as a family, and um, I can do that now because of the mindset I've created with my business, because I've continued moving forward. And my business has changed a lot in 10 years. It's changed dramatically. Like I said, I started 2011. In 2004, and I started in Ohio. In 2014, we moved our family, not knowing anybody. I knew my husband, my husband and my kids, my parents, and my brother, his wife, and family lived in South Carolina. So the four of us, and then my parents, we all moved down to South Carolina. So basically, I didn't know anybody. I knew my brother's family, and that was it. So that was in 2014. So from 2011, 2014, I did make quite a great customer base in Ohio. I did do some events. I did make a good foundation for me there. I did do some recruiting, and like some of my best directors, they're my Ohioans, and I love them forever. And then in 2014, I basically had to start over in a new place. And a lot of that comes with just the change in people's lives, right? And that's okay. Don't expect yourself to just sit in one area, sit in one thing, and that's it for the entirety of your business. What makes this business special is you. What makes it keep moving forward is you, regardless of where you are, regardless of what the past of your Scentsy business has been. It moves forward because you move forward, right? So in 2014, I moved to South Carolina. I kind of restarted my business there. And I have some team in South Carolina now as well, and still in Ohio and South Carolina. Now we're all over. But restarting there, I did start with some events. I started trying to get myself out there, just trying to find little events here and there. I found a fair that I continuously still do every year. And I was really good at it for about 4 years, I want to say, maybe from 2014 to 2018. I was doing really, really well. And then in 2018, I feel like, I don't really want to say my life fell apart, but I became a very different person. I was already graduated now from nursing school. I was a nurse. I am a nurse. I still am a nurse. I just really struggled with, who am I? Where do I want to go? What do I want to be? I did want to be a nurse. I do want to be a nurse, but I wasn't feeling a sense of fulfillment, right? And it was kind of in all areas of my life. I wasn't feeling like a good mom. I wasn't feeling like a good wife. I didn't like my friends. I was really struggling. I think a lot of that came with a lot of loneliness in South Carolina, of not having the same friends and contacts in just history that I did with the same people that I did in Ohio. So it was just very different. And I really had to do a lot of inner searching. And what I found in that 2017, 2018 years, was I kind of changed my business, kind of changed my life a lot. In a healthy way, in a good way, in a way that maybe the people that knew me ahead of time, before, pre that, they would have seen somebody different. And now when they see me, they do see like a different change in some, that I am that kind of different person. And what I want to talk to you about is how you can create those steps to overcoming or to changing. My business was good. It was good up until that point as well. I did almost take a full year. I did have wonderful customers, but I did take a good year off of just, um, I really had to do a lot of soul searching, a lot of inner foundational work. And that's the main part of what I want to talk about today is in building yourself. I want you to become the best you that you can be, the best leader that you can be, the best consultant that you can be, the best version of who you are for who you can become. And I want to talk to that person. I want to talk about retraining and regaining your brain, getting rid of some of those distractions, and becoming the best version of you that you can be. Number one, and this is probably my last point as well as my first point, give yourself grace. Nobody's perfect in this business. And please know that everybody works their business differently. I work my business completely different from my superstar director. Even one of my directors on my team, and I have a couple of star directors under me as well, or on my team, and they are very structured and goal oriented and daily routines. And I am a fly by the seat of my pants and everywhere squirrels and I do not function in that way. But there is some huge positivities that come from all realms of people, right? So what I want to discuss is going into those inner foundational pieces that everybody needs to have. And so I want to talk to your foundation, right? I want to talk to whether you've been in this business, today is your first day, or you've been in it 10 years like me, or you just don't know where you're going. Let's talk to that foundation, because building your foundation, it's not like a one-time event. You're constantly tweaking that foundation, but like your habits may slip, and like habits that were that you formed to help build this foundation, if they're slipping to the side, you're just kind of rebuild them periodically. You're not constantly having to reconstruct a foundation, right? You might just be periodically moving them around and just doing maintenance to your foundation, not reconstruction of your entire foundation. Sorry, got a tickle in my throat. But like, if you spend time on investing in your inner foundation, which I think is super, super important, invest in the inner you, that inner foundation, then that is what makes your business strong. That's what gives you the structure to your business. That's what has those walls holding up and that roof up on, way back when in church, as a kid, I learned like the wise man built his house upon the rock, and the foolish man built his house on the sand. Because if you build your house on the rock, it stands firm, right? If you build it on sand, it just gets washed away and it goes splat, like in the song. That's what it says. But anyway, it's important that you're building on these strong foundations. So I'm going to look at my notes a little bit as I just rambled a whole bunch. But there's really some really important foundational things that I want to talk about. So have you ever thought about whether you have a strong inner foundation that helps guide you in your life choices? Having a strong inner foundation is an important part of an intentional living because it helps make the decisions that shape your future for the better. So when you think of your inner foundation in terms of what supports you and what gives you strength. So there are 5 main parts that I want to talk about. And you can feel free to pause this video, write these questions down. It will really help you to, I think, kind of dig a little deeper into who you are as a leader, who you are as a consultant. Like I said, who you are in this business, who you are as a person. And I think that as this foundation, it doesn't have to just be for your business, but this foundation can be across the board what's really important to you in your life, right? So we're going to talk about mindset. Mindset is the quality of your thoughts. So mindset's going to be your number one. I'm going to dig into each one a little bit deeper of questions about each one. Number two is your values. What's important to you? Number three is your habits, your daily routines that keep you grounded. Number four is your strengths, things that you're naturally good at. And then let me flip my little napkin over. And number five is your relationships, people who make you feel secure and supported. So this is something, though, these five things can be you can constantly be reevaluating these things, right? Your mindset, though, these are where the questions get a little bit deeper. Your mindset. What thoughts do you need to believe about yourself to feel supported? And then the other question on your mindset. How can you focus more on the current moment than your past and your future? Those are the two biggest mindset questions that I've come across. What thoughts do you need to believe about yourself to feel supported? And how can you focus more on the current moment more than the past or the future? Your values. What do you value in friendships and relationships? For example, sense of humor, empathy, a willingness to challenge you. What do you value in your work? Do you value flexibility? Do you value reliable coworkers, independence? What is it in your work that you value? So those two big things. What do you value in friendships, in relationships? What do you value in your work? And the third one that I really love is, what are the top three values that you want to uphold in your own life? So if you think about it, think about how you want others to describe you. I've seen it on Facebook so many times of what three things other than Scentsy remind you of me, right? When I've done that before, people say dogs because my dogs are my babies. A lot of times they say vacations because to me that's something huge. That's something I really value. And I love vacations. It gives me a lot of, recharges me, family time. I love to see the world, something about me, right? What are the top three values you want to uphold in your own life? What do you want people to say about you when they think about you? When it's not Scentsy, what are three things that people think of when they think about you? So that first one was mindset. Second one is values. Third one is your habits. What are your current daily habits? What habits would help make your life feel more balanced? There's a really great quote in Atomic Habits by James Clear. He says, successful people feel the same lack of motivation as everyone else. The difference is that they still find a way to show up despite the feelings of boredom. For me, that's huge because I get distracted so easily. And another quote I saw about that was, if you are not equipped to manage your distractions, your brain will be manipulated by time-wasting diversions. I have a family farm game on my phone, and I could play it 6 hours a day if I wanted to. I really like it. I also have Happy Color on my phone, and so it's another game. It's a coloring app, and you can get so caught up in these games and these fun times. But if I don't set a time of when I can be on those games, or if I don't set like a limit, those things can become time-wasting diversions. I wouldn't do Scentsy, right? I wouldn't have time. I'd be playing my video games all the time. Or I might be more interested in reading a book but if I give myself just certain times of the day to do these things, but the other times I need to schedule out my work, that is how I'm going to be indistractable, right? So habits. Like I said, successful people have the same lack of motivation. But the problem is, for some people, they just don't do it. Successful people do it anyway. The fourth thing is your strengths. What are your biggest strengths? This one, I expect all of you to have different answers. There are so many people, like, our strengths are what sets us apart. I don't want to have the same strengths as every other person, right? I want other directors to have different strengths than me. I want my team to have different strengths than me, because then we can make up a whole. I don't want us all to be the same. That is boring. I want to have those great back and forth conversations. I want to meet people that aren't like little copycats of me. I want people to have their own opinions and their own strengths. And that's how it builds me up, because their strengths might be my weaknesses and vice versa. So how do those strengths help support you in your life? So what are your strengths and how do those help support you in your life? How can you make better use of your strengths in your daily life? So if I have a very good strength with Cincy, and another director I know is strong in a different suit, like we can swap team pages maybe, and like I can go talk to her team page on samples or on building a foundation, and they can come talk to my team page about recruiting, because maybe that's not my biggest strong suit, which it's really not, but that might be something that other director, that's their strength. And so them bringing their strength to the table is helpful and beneficial to me and my team. So what strengths help support you in your life? And how can you make better use of your strengths in your daily life? So that's really important. And then the last thing, the fifth thing, is the relationships. What makes you feel most supported in a friendship or a relationship? Do you need to feel valued in a certain way? Are you a receiver of gifts? Are you like do you need the words of affirmation? Like these are those like 5 love languages. Do you, are you a physical touch type person? Like there's all these different ways that people feel loved, but what makes you feel most supported in your relationship and in your business? Who are the people in your life that make you feel the most grounded? Is that a spouse? Is that your kids? Is that your director, your team? Who is it in your life that makes you feel the most grounded? And are there any relationships that you need to let go of to feel more stable? And I think that one is the one that when you actually look inside yourself, that one's a little tough. It's a little tough sometimes to try to think of, are there relationships in my life that aren't healthy? I'm 39, and I think maybe just, since 2000, like I said, maybe 17 and 18 since then. So the past 4 or 5 years, I have found a lot of unhealthiness just in relationships. And sometimes you think when you turn 30, you're supposed to have it all put together. That is not the case. When I don't think I started putting things together. I'm still putting things together, right? I don't feel like you ever have it all together. But what's important is weeding out that unhealthiness, finding the healthy you, finding the you that wants to move forward, finding the parts of you that you want to move forward with, and leaving those unhealthy parts behind. And that's so important to do, especially in finding a healthy business and finding your healthy strengths, your healthy habits, your values, having a healthy mindset. All of these fall under healthiness, right? You can absolutely have an unhealthy mindset and you're not going to go anywhere. If you have unhealthy values, your business is going to crash. If you don't know what your strengths are, you might not get up off the ground, right? Your business might not take off. So answering these questions, and I know there was a ton of them, answering these questions though, really is going to dive deep into who you are as a person and where you want to take that person, in the realm of Cincy. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to keep going without going over my time. So, let me see. A couple of the things I know I'm like getting down to like the very last minutes here. And a couple of the things I want to share with you that I do that kind of answered all these questions, because the things that are important to me, these values in my mindset, um, like it has reinforced who I am. It has made a stronger me, right? When I'm leading a team, the things that are very, very important to me when leading my team are my values, are my strengths. What's important to them are my strengths. What's important to them is that I find people that have different strengths as well, like other leaders that they can learn from. But when leading a team, something that's really important to me is that connection and relationship. Relationships to me, are very valuable, and I like to feel valued. I like to make others feel valued and feel like that they are, um, not in this race alone, right? I want them to feel that they're going the right way, holding my hand and doing, like I want them to feel side by side with me. I want them to feel like I am cheering them on every step of the way. Something I like to say. So I know this is, somebody will probably talk against this maybe in a later talk, but something that really defines who I am as a person, honestly, but as a leader, as all kinds of things, is I am consistently inconsistent. I know that sounds terrible, and that's like not what anybody ideally wants to be, but consistently being inconsistent for me, and that's because I am squirreling constantly, right? But when I'm leading my team, they know I'm inconsistent all the time, like crazy. But when I connect in with them, they don't think I'm connecting in with them because of Sensi. They know that I value them as a person, not because they're part of my Sensi team. And that's important to me. I want them to know that I want to know what's going on in their life as their families. I want to know what's going on, and are they buying a home? Not just, hey, have you put in your 200 or your 500 this month? Or hey, are you gonna ever get out of being an essential consultant? I'm never gonna talk to somebody like that. I want them to feel valued where they are, and I want to be their cheerleader in where they're going, right? And if I can't have those strengths, like I said before, in leading a team, I want to set up my page for other leaders to come on my page and talk about their strengths, talk about what they're really good at. And what else did I write down? Oh, in leading a team, something else that is really important is connecting with your frontline or your team every month. Sitting at one of the leadership tables just this week, one of the people talked about they make a printout of their entire frontline, and throughout the month they just go through and they check off the people that they have connected with through the month. And that is such a smart idea, in a way to connect with everybody. It just starts conversations. It restarts some of those connections that maybe you may have lost if you haven't talked to everybody, or had those connections with them. Serving your customers. Again, I'm inconsistent, but I am authentic to the core because I tell them how inconsistent I am. They know that. If I smell scents I do live videos constantly. If I smell a scent on a live video and it's floral, I'm like, I have these facial features and these facial whatever, and they're laughing at me and they're like, we know you hate it. You don't like floral scents, and that's because they know who I am. But I will say, Lynn, you would love this scent. This scent is directly up your alley, right? And I would be that person that I know those customers in and out of what scents they like, because that's important for me. The connection with those customers, the connection with my team, the connection with those customers. Yes, I'm inconsistent, but I'm consistently inconsistent. That's kind of funny, to an extent. And then supporting my family. What else is really important? Vacations are always important to me. And making money through Sensi is the way that we just put that money away for our vacations. At the very beginning, it might have been a little bit of a weekend away, right? Now, if you just keep going in this business, keep moving forward, keep having that resilience, keep that mindset of moving forward, your business will grow. Keep recruiting, keep selling, keep the connections and the authenticity and the simplicity with your customers and your team, and it will continue to grow and grow and grow. Like I said, with my business, I started it because I wanted vacations. Now all of my Scentsy money goes to vacations. So this year, it's not just Dan and I going to go to Hawaii like we did a couple years ago for leadership. We're going to take my kids to Hawaii. Next year is going to be our big vacation to Europe. And Dan wants to go for a month. So we might do that. Why not? Why not go for a month? If Scentsy can afford, or like if I can make enough that we can go to Europe for a month, why not? Why not go and see the world if that's what we want to do together as a family? And then you guys always please feel free to reach out to me as much as you want to. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of stuff on how I am consistently inconsistent, but I'm able to work my business when I want to, when is best times for me, and got to keep that mindset going. And like I wanted to mention to you real quick before I leave is, again, that mindset of where you are, that mindset of where you want to go. So I told you I'm in Cabo, right? So leadership's in Cabo. Leadership was phenomenal. Leadership ended Saturday. It is Wednesday, and I'm still here in Cabo because I have COVID. And I am quarantined to these little four walls in my hotel room for 5 extra days. I'm not allowed to leave till Friday. But you would never know if I didn't tell you that, because my mindset is not about, oh my gosh, I can't leave these four walls. My mindset is, holy cow, it is 80 degrees outside. I have a balcony. I can sit in the sun. I have literally all the room service in the world that I want. I am having a forced R&R vacation, right? But it's all in the mindset of who I am now, right? I think maybe who I was 5 years ago, I would have complained, would have cried. I would have told my husband, please don't leave me in Mexico by myself. I don't know if I would have honestly been able to take it. But the mindset of, wow, I can get so much Scentsy stuff done during these days. And wow, look at how gorgeous it is here, right? Like that mindset, that changing of how I think, and my inner foundation and the strength in my core, like changing that who I am and becoming a better me will always be better for you. Like always becoming a better you will always be the better option. Always looking for that change in mindset and creating that inner foundation for you. Always looking at that and reevaluating that and growing will always be the best for your business. I love you guys. I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, please reach out if you have any questions. And I can't wait to meet all of you at World Tour. Bye.